Hi, my name is Christina and I'm here with
Hannah.
Welcome to the show.
Every single person that is in politics seems to be a lawyer. You know?
I say it's good and it's helping the relationship.
Sometimes our mind is one way, but then think of different ways.
I started my music with performing on stage with Agudai, Patai rolling dollars and all those. When I was very young, competing and going for loads of competitions.
And being focused and being organized. That's the only way you can achieve what you achieve. And don't get distracted, because you can easily get distracted.
Yes.
And it's telling us that the church is actually a hospital for treatment. We have all kinds of people there, because at the end of the day, we're all sinners, you understand? And we have come to be redeemed.
I think we should agree to disagree.
Hi, my name is Christina.
Hi, I'm Hannah. Welcome to the Mina Dollz Show. Hi, today we've got with us Dolly. Hi Dolly, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, and you?
Yeah, really good, thank you.
Good.
Welcome to the show, Dolly.
Thank you.
Hope you find your way here easy.
Yes, it was quite easy.
It was lovely today. I love your shoes.
Thank you.
I know it's the sparkle.
Thank you very much.
Very nice.
Thank you.
So, for those that don't know, but I'm sure they do, you're a pioneer of Nollywood. You're a popular actress as well as filmmaker, and obviously when you started out, Nollywood was very different to how it is now. So how do you think Nollywood is now regarded worldwide compared to when you were starting out your career?
Actually, when I started my career, there was no Nollywood, because that was way in the 80s.
Okay.
And after then, things were a bit slow, because we went, a lot of us, into filming and acting and stuff back in Nigeria then. But now, I think Nollywood has well expanded and well accepted. I remember in school when I went, I did films and videos here in England, and I remember they rated Nollywood as the third film producing country. So I'm really very, very proud of them, of how much they have done,
how much they've grown
in the industry. So
it's huge now,
it's massive. Coming here, life here is quite different from what we're used to in Nigeria. Everything you have to do yourself. So I took a long break looking after the family. So
So what made you look into your own experience to create film?
I think experience is the best teacher, and you get better stories when you're talking from a point of experience. So I always, most of the stories that I produced, I always fall back to what I've
personal
seen.
experience.
Personal experience, or things that I've witnessed, then I develop the story from there. It doesn't mean everything is exactly, because you have to put stories to make it drama.
So who've been amongst the best and most inspiring to you actors and actresses that you've worked with throughout your career?
It will go back to those days back in Nigeria. I would say people like Liz Benson, Regina Askew. We used to be on
quite big.
Yes, we used to be on a famous soap then, Fortunes. So we grew into each other, and I think they're very fantastic actors. I also would say people like Joke Silva. People like Joke Silva as well. I admire the acting, and Bimbo Akintola, who is in my movie, she is a wonderful actress. So I quite admire her as well,
Brilliant.
So making movies, do you shoot your movie just in London, or do you do Nigeria and... Because some people do both. So.
I did both, I did both for a reason, because I've been away from the industry for quite a long time. So you have to be a bit old to remember me, you understand what I mean? So what I did was I brought in some people, some faces like Bimbo Akintola, who are still, very much in the movie industry. So I shot most of them here, 90%. Just a few I shot in Nigeria. And I would say that shooting in Nigeria is beautiful and cheap. Compared to here, where labor is very expensive, and so many things, locations, you have to pay for them. But in Nigeria, you get free location. Everybody's there to help you.
Not now, not in Nigeria.
I did. Some people pay. Some people pay, but
You were just lucky.
I did have free locations, I would say. But here I had to rent every house.
Yeah.
Every holiday home that we went to, we rented and we paid for. So yeah, I loved shooting in Nigeria.
Yeah.
What advice would you have to young aspiring actors, actresses, or even filmmakers who are trying to break into the industry now, where it's, you know, gotten so large and competitive?
Yes, the industry has really grown. I would say to young people, first of all, is to get the education they need.
Yeah.
It's true that with acting, you can have a natural talent for it, or you know, but still, it's always better to get the education.
Yeah.
Get you know, go for auditions, because if you are good, you'll be discovered.
Yeah.
Just keep going for auditions, and a producer, a director will snap you up. So they should just get the education and then face the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we come back, we're gonna play a short trailer of Dolly's latest movie, Broadway.
Remember what I told you? Yes, Mom. You mustn't tell anyone what happened.
Now listen to me. I don't want you telling anybody, or even your mom, about what you've seen today. Do you understand it? Or
I'm sorry, I won't tell anyone.
Can I remind you that I am the reason why you are the overseer of this church?
I must take my leave now.
I'm sorry, Pastor Rhoda. I won't be comfortable in a church where the pastor's wife thinks she's a film star.
Why were you still seated when the others were standing?
Or you think you can stroll in here anytime you want and take over authority, right?
Come on, I'm David. I'm not a rapist.
I will appreciate it, David, if you respect my wishes.
Welcome back to the Mina Dollz Talk Show. We're still here with Dolly, Nollywood veteran, and we just saw her clip for her new film, Broadway.
So what inspired you in making the movie Broadway?
Okay, Broadway is a story about the church.
Okay.
And I happened to be married to a pastor, and I got involved in the church and what is going on in the church. And I thought it would be it would make a good impact, you know.
Yeah.
It would be a very good story. And Broadway is centered on the pastor's wife.
Okay.
You know, the duty of the pastor's wife, and what exactly is the pastor's wife supposed to do. But in this story, the pastor's wife happened to be more concerned about her designer shoes and clothes, and she is not doing exactly what she's supposed to do. So it's the other way around, you know. We have a good pastor who have this, you know, very domineering wife, and then we have another pastor who is a wife beater. You know, so it's actually a full-on story about all that is happening, you understand, in the
two
church.
sides of it,
and it's telling us that the church is actually a hospital for treatment. We have all kinds of people there, you understand. So anyone that is out there looking at the church and saying, oh, this holier than thou people, no, you come. Because at the end of the day, we're all sinners, you understand? And we have come to be redeemed, you understand? So it's a story that people a lot of people will find themselves, you know, looking at it like, oh, is that me?
Yeah.
Because there is every aspect.
Relatable.
Yes, we are dealing with everything.
Okay, so it's not one particular...
No, it's a wide story, yeah.
Wow, very good. So when is it? Is it released now? Is it in the cinema? Is it in the...
We did the premiere on the 20th, which was last Friday, and we have.
How was it?
It was wonderful. It was wonderful. Thank God for that.
You didn't invite us.
Malcolm should have invited you, so it's not on me now. Well, so yeah, we are still talking to TV stations. We already got an online buyer, an online television who we signed up. Then, but we are still talking to some TV stations back, because at the end of the day, Nollywood is still our biggest market.
Yeah.
So we are
talking to them now. So quite
So no
very
plans
soon.
of going to Nigeria to do premiere and put in the cinema?
I'm actually going to Nigeria in the summer to have a premiere there before we.
Because don't you think if you put it in the cinema, you make more money?
Yeah. We have the culture now in Nigeria, cinema culture. Last time I was there, people were going to cinema, so it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will take it back home in the summer, to show it in the cinema.
How do you believe the marriage breakdown has impacted you to become a strong woman?
To be honest, me being a strong woman had nothing to do with my marriage breakdown. I was quite young when I got married. My first marriage.
Okay.
Yeah, I got married at the age of 19 and I was divorced at 24.
Okay.
So I actually was very naive and young. You understand? So I don't think that impacted me in being a strong woman. You understand? Because I believe that a woman is supposed to be matured, before getting into marriage. Marriage is not for children.
No.
Yes. So coming to the being strong and independent and all that, it's all a personal thing. You understand? Some people are born strong, they are go-getters, and some are quite laid back. So. That's my belief.
Yeah. So what future plans have you got in terms of your acting career and your filmmaking career for the future?
Broadway is actually a series, so what we put together to show at the cinema was bringing the 13 episodes into a movie. So Broadway is going to continue. We are going to start shooting the next 13 episodes next month. So it's an ongoing series. So we're going to be very busy with that, and of course, maybe once in a while, I also want to do things like documentary. Some very sensitive topics. Just a short documentary and stuff like that. Yes. So. Yeah.
So our topic question for you today is that obviously domestic violence is still such a current issue affecting relationships. Recently a Nigerian singer was killed in her Banana Island home by her husband along with her daughter, and one woman is killed statistically every 3 days in the UK. So in our society today, do you think that domestic violence is taken seriously enough?
Domestic violence is, I think the people in it should be able to take action, like if it's the woman or the man, because it goes both ways, the abused should separate. I always tell that because we have this women ministry that we deal with women. I always say to the women, you need to separate from your partner if you're being abused. It's not divorce, it's separation until he or she gets the help that they need. Because I've seen women who are in prison for killing their husband. Because they reacted. Because there's so much that you can take, you understand? And all of a sudden she reacts and the man fell on the floor and hit his head and he died. And she went to prison for 8 years. So she could have separated herself from this man and got in until the man has been to a counselor or something, let them get the help they need. So I advise people to separate from an abuser.
Enough is being done to help them if they separate, because some of them might be scared. What if the partner come after them?
Well, at the end of the day...
because people that are, I don't know.
Back here, I think there's enough help here in England. Back in Nigeria, I'm not sure. But here, I know there's help. You can go to different agencies that will help you and they will put you under protection. Send you to another borough or something like that. So I'm aware of those agencies that help you here. But back in Nigeria, I'm not sure about the help that you have. But still, if you separate and get the family involved, there could be mediation and, from there, healing or something, but you just need to leave. You cannot remain in an abusive marriage. It tells on the children, it has a bad influence on the whole family, so it's better for you if you separate and, get the help that you need.
So do you believe that whoever is the abuser can be helped?
Of course,
to change?
There's nobody that cannot change, but with the right help, you understand, from the right people, professionals. There are people that are
trained, you know, to talk about this sort of thing, you know. So with the right help, they should be able to change.
Don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon with our next guest.
Welcome back to the Minas Dollz Talk Show. We're now joined by our second guest, Euphemia. Hi, Euphemia.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Good, yeah, good, thank you.
Excellent.
I like your boots.
Thank you.
So did you find your way easy?
No, I did not.
Where are you coming from?
Well, I was coming from North London, but for some reason I keep getting lost, and I'm like, I'm late.
And the traffic in London's just crazy.
I know.
Crazy. So thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us about your career to date. You've achieved a lot, not only in acting but also in writing.
Yes.
And you've obviously got a strong passion for the arts. So where does this passion come from?
Well, ever since I was very, very young, maybe 10, 9, I don't know, I've always wanted to be an actress, singer, ice skater, dancer, everything to do with media. It's my passion.
Yeah.
So, and I sort of started young, trained as a classical opera singer, went to theatre school, Sylvia Young, got an agent.
Oh, wow, okay.
Just saw the usual things you do as a child. So all my school years was drama in school.
Yeah.
Joined the theatre group at 15, I think. Everything media.
Yeah.
It's my passion.
So that obviously takes me on to discuss your agency that you have. You're the founder of Fame Star Media.
That's right.
And it's an acting and modelling agency. Obviously that's where your passions lie. So it's now also expanded into a publication, Fame Star Magazine. So tell us a bit about the agency, how it came about and how it's now turned into a publication.
Okay. Fame Star Agency, which was the original name given to years ago when I started it. I was actually a teenager at the time. I think I was about 17, 18 or something when I started Fame Star Agency, which then was acting and modeling agency.
Okay.
And the reason why I actually started that was because the Sylvia Young Theatre School that I was with, there were only 2 black people in the class, which was myself, the female, and another black guy. And all my classmates kept being cast in EastEnders and Grange Hill and all the stuff. So, and both of us kept complaining, how comes we're not getting it, this is racism. So in my head, and I just thought, well, you know what, I'm going to open my own agency.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's really how I started the agency. So over the years, then I had the break. I thought, oh my God, it was getting a bit much as a young person. And I thought to myself, oh, I need to sort of leave this now that I'm breaking even and come back when I'm a bit older.
Yeah.
So it was on ice. Then over the years, sort of, stepped away from acting, from all the stuff. And then came back, matured, grown, and got back into it again. And then by now, I'm more into the acting side of it and the singing. So, and I expanded it into Fame Star Media because I was now producing films.
Okay, wow, yeah.
And then the PR side of it, and then the publication side of it. So that's the expansion, the grown-up version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So, thank you.
So are you seeking talent for your agency?
So if there's a film that I want to produce, then I will seek out the people that I need for that film, or the people I do have that email me or talk to me and say they want to act, then obviously I'll take their details and then I will cast them if a film come on board too, because it's really moved away from what it was to begin with years ago, where I was managing them. So I had them in the books and I had number of them in the books, but it's changed a bit now. So it's not so much in focusing on the agency side of it, but more on the production side of it.
The media side.
So for our viewers that are looking to pursue a career in the entertainment industry, what advice have you got for them?
If you don't have passion for it and you go in it, yes, and then you'll get frustrated. So the best thing to do is to have passion for it and then go into it, be prepared, and don't give up, because there's a lot that goes into it and you have to have thick skin as well and not be too sensitive. So that's it.
So I see today you've brought with you some of your books and publications. Can we have a little look and you can tell us a bit about them?
Yeah, sure. I've got my couple of books that I've written called Sandra and My Love, My Heart, and just a copy of one of the issues of the Fame Star magazine, which is the other part of the company that has expanded from Fame Star.
So what else have you got there?
Oh, this is my CD. Gospel singer.
Wow.
That's how I actually sort of, when I diverted, I came back as a gospel singer, and then because I love to sing.
Yeah.
So
how do you manage to do it all? Obviously, you've got your books, your magazine, your gospel singing. What advice do you have to people that think that it needs to be sort of one career path or a home life?
Well, you need to be focused. It's not easy, how to juggle everything in one time. Yes, something has to give. Obviously, there's a lot of sacrifices that go into making sure that I'm able to do what I do, and that is commitment and being focused and being organized. That's the only way you can achieve what you achieve. And don't get distracted, because you can easily get distracted.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, what are your books about? What do you write about? What makes you passionate to write?
This book, Sandra, it's about a girl who never gives up. Regardless of what life throws at her, she stays strong. She doesn't allow the stigma of society because her parents died when she was very young. And not giving too much away, but she had to now bring herself up. My Love, My Heart is the sequel of Sandra. So please read Sandra first before My Love, My Heart. So otherwise you won't understand it. But the book is about a girl who, against all odds, she pushes to make it. And she never gives up. And she refuses to, be stigmatized by society, because her parents died when she was young. And she was put through homes and stuff like that. She keep pushing herself to make it. Through studies, in between all that, she fights with her faith. And then really what it's about is love, finding true love, and the support of friendship and all that. So it's about women empowerment, empowering, men as well. You don't give up in everything you do. When you have a dream, you must go forward and achieve that, and it takes hard work and dedication.
So you do extensive humanitarian work on top of everything else that you've done. So in terms of your humanitarian work, tell us a little bit about the situations you've come across and what's inspired you in the projects that you've gotten involved in.
Okay, I've lived here since I was 9 years old. So when I went home the first time to Nigeria, and I saw the lack, what we take for granted in this country, what is common to us, it's so precious to them. So when I came back and went to the village, I really stayed in the village because I didn't understand the language and I needed to learn the language. And then when I saw all the children, with no shoes, and they're really hungry, the way they're dressed and the way, it's like, when I left when I was 9, I came back years later, it was exactly the same. And I needed to do something. So when I came back and I thought, okay, look at this church, look at these children, how can I do, what can I do to help? Even if it's sponsoring one child, to go to school or something. I mean, 30 pounds every month is not going to hurt me. That's, probably money you go and spend in a restaurant or something, but at least it's making a difference in someone's life. So, I spoke to my brother, who's a pastor, Faith Abundant Ministry International, which I work closely with. And I said, how can I, I want to be sending money regularly to support a charity or this or that. This is what I'm passionate about. So that's really how we came about in making a difference, one child at a time.
That's amazing,
So empowering women is clearly a large part in your life. So who were your role model growing up? What female or what women inspire you?
Funny enough, it's late now. She's late, but the woman that really was very strong, because again, growing up very young and where I came from is this particular woman. I call her Auntie Tracy. She's dead now. And she was a very strong woman, she knew what she wanted. She knew her heart. And I just loved the way she was, so gentle and kind, but she was very strong and very determined and very, so I just watched her a lot and observed, and I thought. And then there was another side where domestic violence was involved that I knew about. And I thought to myself, when I grow up, I don't want to be in this situation. So because of what I saw and who I saw, I already knew the type of woman I wanted to become.
So our women empowerment topic this time is domestic violence. It's obviously still such a recurring issue that affects relationships. Recently, a Nigerian singer was killed in her home along with her child by her Banana Island home, along with her husband. And statistically, a woman is killed in the UK every 3 days by domestic violence. So why do you think this is still such a big issue in terms of now? Do you think that it's still taken, is it taken seriously enough?
There are a lot of coverage about domestic violence, and the government is obviously doing something about it. You see flyers and talks and TV ads that deals with it, but nevertheless, a lot more can be done because there's still a lot of people that are in that environment but are afraid to speak up, men or women really. And if you're not ashamed of something, it's easy for you to talk about. If you're not scared of something, it's easy for you to act. So whoever, whether it's the perpetrator, they know how to control the victim. And you really, it's a matter of getting that victim to realize that there is help out there. And if they feel safe and secure enough to get that help, then perhaps they'll be able to step forward instead of hiding it. And then sometimes they will come out and do speak up and don't get the help that they need. And they'll go back and the situation is worse than to begin with. So it's really, it's a very delicate,
of course,
situation. And because it is delicate, that's why it keeps happening, and it looks like nothing is being done. But something is being done. But is it enough?
Is
the question.
I agree. So, what do you think is the reason that make these people don't want to come out? These people in domestic violent relationship.
Usually, it's either fear, or they feel this is their lot. They don't have a choice.
Or are they ashamed of saying it because you did mention something?
It could be. For some people it is. Again, it depends on the mindset.
Don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon.
Welcome back. We're now joined by Dr. Kate. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you so much.
Good. Thanks so much for coming in. It's lovely to see you.
Thank you.
Was your journey okay here?
It was okay until I got to the road. I couldn't identify number 19.
Oh no!
Other than that, everything was good. Very straightforward.
That's not so bad.
Yeah, that's good. So, for those that don't know, you're a local councillor, but also you were the mayor of the borough of Enfield in London. So, what attracted you to a career in politics? What attracted you to a career in politics?
Probably, I might go back to my profession as a midwife.
Okay.
Yes, I worked as a midwife at North Middlesex University Hospital and delivered so many babies. Obviously, during that time, a lot of women asked questions. And the relevant questions they were asking, not only just on health, not only on environment, and not only on education, so many things. And when they asked me these questions, I said to them, I'll go to the council and find out for you. So then I go to the council, Haringey Council, because that's where I was covering. But at one point, I said to myself, all these people that I'm asking these questions, what have they got that I don't have? Have they got two heads? And I thought, no, they don't have two heads. So what I did was to make inquiries and find out how they became councillors. And the first thing that they said to me is, you've got to join a party.
Okay.
If you don't join a political party, forget it. So that is number one. So, and I thought, okay, can I put this together, politics and my midwifery? And I thought, okay, let me think about it. But there was not two ways about it, because the next thing I did was, I had something that is nurturing, bothering me that I wanted to do first. I wanted to study law.
Okay.
So I went and studied law, working my full-time, working full-time, looking after the 4 kids, and then studying law. And then immediately I got my law degree, which I was very grateful and very happy about. I thought, that's it, I've got an ammunition to go into politics. Because what I noted was that every single person that is in politics seems to be a lawyer. And that was during the time of Tony Blair, as the Labour Party leader. And then the wife is a lawyer, and then everybody is a lawyer. So I became very, very active in politics from 1997. And then it's when it came to a point where I think Yes, I'm actually doing quite well. I go to a lot of meetings, but those meetings in the evenings, 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours, a lot of debate.
Yeah.
But then, my friend always say, we can't get you at home. Where are you? I said, I went to meeting. I said, Kate, this meeting, every time meeting. Do they pay you? I said, my dear, they don't pay me anything, no. They said, no, we can't do it. I said, well, one thing is this, I'm actually learning.
Yeah.
And I'm learning, and it's like I'm learning and putting in the pocket, I'm learning and putting in the pocket.
Yeah.
And that's how, I got myself, deeply into politics. Then I made sure I took a role as well.
Yeah.
And, like a woman officer, ethnic minority officer, because those are the issues that really, that I can discuss about. I can talk about ethnicity, I can talk about women issues. So for that reason, it's better that I really get myself right into it.
Yeah.
So as if there is conference, women conference, they will send me to conferences. And when I go and come back, I write my report and give to them. So that really was very, very important. And that's how I really got myself deeply into it.
So passion for people.
Passion for people, especially when you look at it as a midwife.
Yeah.
I work in the community.
Yeah, exactly.
Delivering babies at home.
Yeah.
Really working with mothers and women and then the families as well.
So you want to make sure they're going to go on and have a good life.
So that is it. And when at a point my MP and the love said to me, we went on a conference, and I was introduced to John Paul Boateng, who was an MP, he's a Ghanaian, an MP in those days. He's Lord Boateng now. He said, oh, this is my councillor. I said, no, I'm not a councillor, I'm only a member. He said, no, the work you do is even more than the councillors.
Yeah.
When this time comes, you got to put your name down. This was in 2002, and my name was put down, and then from then onwards, 2002, I stood and I won. Wow. And I stood again in 2006 and I won. I stood again in 2010 and I won. So I did it 3 terms, and that brought it into 12 years. And I thought to myself, I need a break so as to make sure that what I've learned in politics, I really want to impact it on others. So with that, I came off and I formed a group called Forum for African, Caribbean, and Asian Women in Politics. All I wanted to do really is to encourage women from all, especially ethnic minority.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of women in politics, and even if we do have, you don't see a lot from black and ethnic minority.
Yeah.
So it's just to
encourage more women,
encourage them,
be confident.
Yes, and we were lucky that when we launched it at the House of Commons in 2015. And it was hosted by MP Diana Abbott, and yes, and other MPs, and then even our High Commission did send a representative, and then she went back and said, "Oh, that is a good idea."
Yeah.
And he invited us, myself and my group. He invited us to the High Commission of we went there, and then he said, "I heard about your good work. Then everybody tell me about it." And then at the end of it, we took the advantage and said, since you really like this, how about being our patron?
Yeah.
And he said, why not? So the High Commission is our patron.
That's great.
So we are really quite happy. We might not be doing a lot, it doesn't seem, but we are, I believe, because I've got some few ladies that have been mentoring, and they put their name down, for the council. This council election coming exactly 1 week today. So I do hope that every single one of you is going to vote.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. So now I'm back on it. I'm back on the trail again. So I'm actually a candidate.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
wow.
Yes, for the election next week Thursday.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Well, you've got my vote.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Some people don't take voting or putting that single vote as something. But these are the people that determine the things that are happening within.
Of course.
But some people always say, oh, I couldn't be bothered about other votes. After all, they don't change or they don't do this. But if every single one of us does like that, then nobody would actually make any change. But if we can all go together and say, yes, we want to change.
Yeah.
Gradually, you might find that there are 10 people who have said exactly the same thing that you said, and that would actually make a difference.
Yeah.
Because people don't realize, but it's the people that makes the policy.
Yeah.
And that's that meeting I was going to. When I go to meetings, it's all the members, ordinary people. It's not the MPs.
No.
It's the ordinary people within the community that discuss about policies and say, this is what we want, and then say to the councillor and the MP who comes to the meeting, take this to the House of Parliament. And that's when they go there, they debate it, it becomes a bill and they legislate. So this is how it goes. It comes from the ordinary people like you and me.
Yeah.
But people don't realize that. They think when the MPs wake up in the morning, they say, right, today we're going to talk about this. No, it comes from the ordinary
issues, from the communities.
You know, when you look at, for example, we didn't used to have Sunday market before. The shops are not open on Sundays. But then people start to talk about the one Sunday market. Then it had to come back to to each area to discuss about it, and then before they took it to the house to discuss more about it, and gradually becomes a bill. And then, but then they have to also think about people who wants to go to church. That's why it doesn't start at 9 o'clock in the morning. It starts at 11 o'clock. Yeah, because they give opportunity for people to go to church and to do things. You see?
Which is very good.
And they finish again. The shops close about 4 o'clock. You know, for people that want to go to church in the evening. So, so everybody's being respected.
We'll be back with the hot debate.
Welcome back to the Mina Dollz Talk Show. We're still joined by Kate and Euphemia. So today's topic of debate is on domestic violence. It's obviously still such a big issue that's affecting relationships. And recently, with a Nigerian singer being killed in her Banana Island home, and with one woman being killed every 3 days statistically in the UK, do we think that society still takes this issue seriously enough, and is enough being done to tackle the problem?
I think this is a very, very disturbing question and disturbing answer and disturbing issue. As a midwife, you know, I've seen a lot of domestic violence, especially, you know, pregnant women come and sometimes they're accompanied by their husband and they're not able to speak. I think, for example, I must give this because I always mention it. I had a very, very young lady. She must be about 17, 18, you know, married. It's an Asian lady. She always come out to antenatal clinic every Saturday, accompanied by the husband. And when I ask, how is the baby kicking? He answers the question. What about food? Are you eating well? He answers the question. But I didn't think about anything otherwise. But fortunately, I would say fortunately, because he gave her the opportunity to speak. One day she came on her own because he couldn't get the time off. And as soon as she walked in, tears just flew down from her eyes. You know, we can fill up a bucket. Then I held her and they started asking her question. And then she told me that, number one, it's not only that she's been beaten, she is married into extended families where even with her big, you know, pregnancy, she still have to do the cooking for everybody. And then they all have to eat before she eats. And if there's no food left, she has to start all over again to cook for herself. And, you know, with that, I was so, you know, I didn't know how I felt. So she said, I'm not going home. She's not going home. I said, yes, you know, we'll do something for you. It was the Saturday I phoned my boss and I said, I've got a distressed lady here, and the way is I'm not sending her home because I can see her being slaughtered. I don't even got a kid being slaughtered. And she didn't go home, so we have to take her to a refuge. You know, and that's where she stayed, and they found her a place, her first pregnancy. And then all her families are all in India. So really she had nobody. So with that, I developed that a soft spot on domestic violence. So I became the coordinator of domestic violence at work. And then within the community, I also worked with the Women Aid, MPhil Women Aid, you know, and then through that, I do a lot of conferences on domestic violence, and I've only just finished one on the 23rd of March. And, you know, we combine it with what we call intersectionality, and that is further another set of domestic violence, which nobody actually talks about, and it's to do with, again, you know, people bullying the aunties, the grandmas, you know, and then gender, racism, and all these are all part of domestic violence. And then now, and you know the government is putting some money in it as well. And because the government has come out to help, people are now talking. When we say
much easier.
which is more easier, people are now talking. And when we say that the number of domestic violence has increased, maybe it has increased more, maybe because people are coming out to talk, and there's a lot of reporting. So this is why
statistics automatically go up because more people come forward.
Exactly, you know. So really, that is the most important thing. So you know, it is very, very important issue, and we continue. But I'm afraid about my place where I come from because of this, the stigma. Sometimes if you leave the family and go home, your parents will send you back and say you're married, you know. So that you've been beaten, you must have been bad or something like that. So people are a bit worried, you know. So we're not really treating it yet, you know, back home.
You said your place that you come from. Which place?
I come from Nigeria, Anambra State, you know. And when I say my place, it's the whole of Nigeria, really. You know, it's the whole of Nigeria. You know, women, you know, and then remember that the children, you know, here it's easy for a woman to take the children and go. In home, you might get back to your father's place with the children. They ask you to take back the children. After all, the day you got married, you never went with children. So why are you coming back with children? So do you think
there needs to be a cultural sort of mindset?
Yes, of course it is. And of course it is. And that's why women are suffering, because they continue to stay in a relationship where there is no love, where they are beaten, where the children are even. Of course, you know, it's when you start to talk about it, keep saying, there's a lot of conferences done. In fact, I actually went to Nigeria just on the 5th of March, this March, I went to just to give a conference on domestic violence to support one of the ladies that is here that went home to do that. So now we look like it's like the police and educating the police so that the women, when the women come to them, let them accept them and listen to them. So and then there was a lot of police that came. So I have that confidence that it might take a long time, but something is going to happen.
Thank you for coming to the show. It's been lovely and inspiring having you today.
Thank you.
So we're going to take a quick break, and after the break we're going to have our next guest, who is an artist, Empress. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to the Mina Dollz Talk Show. We're now joined by our last guest, music artist Empress. So how did you find getting here today?
Yes, it's just a bit long journey because I'm living outside London though, so it's been a little bit long, but it's all right. Yeah, it's fine.
You're here now.
That's what matters.
Cool. So you're obviously an Afrobeat artist. Can you tell us a little bit about your music?
Yeah, about my music. I've been into music since 2003, since I was young. I carry it on. Then I started my music with performing on stage with I Go Die, Fatai Rolling Dollars and all those. When I was very young, competing and going for loads of competitions. And my music was reigning there called Aristo in Nigeria. So then I moved to United Kingdom in 2007, studied more, then also acting. There's a station then called OBE TV and Passion TV. So I do act the episode and stuff like that. Then after they closed down, unfortunately, I went to university and studied business and mass and marketing. Then when I finished my uni in Coventry University, then I moved back into the music area, which I am at the moment.
You're the founder of the Voice Afrobeat Association. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Voice of Afrobeat Association is a voice, it stands for Fela. Because Fela is the founder of Afrobeat, which was around 1970s. And I followed the Fela's dream and thinking, okay, let's create this across the Europe. So we started that was started in 2015. And it has had loads of members today, not even in United Kingdom, across the Europe and Africa as well. So we got loads of massive big members, artists, producers, promoters. They are all into the group now. And it's going more further because we all have the same passion and the same dream all together. That we are planning very soon to use one of the Fela music as a group in order to create, to give the tribute back to Fela, who started the music. So be expecting that from us.
That's very good.
So in terms of your music, what sort of projects have you got coming up? We've seen that you've obviously got your new song, Scream My Name, with Oyinbo Princess, who we had previously on the show, featured in the video. So tell us a little bit about that.
Scream My Name is a very big project that has started since 2015. And the songs, the first part of the song came out, which hit on the iTunes when it came out then. It's called Fill Up. And it went on number 10 on iTunes then. And it was everywhere, all the DJs, everybody have it. Today I'm talking. So we came to the second project of it, like, okay, the market I wasn't prepared enough for the market then. So it was too powerful than me to hold. So we came and featured another artist on it. Then it was me and Orisha Femi who did it. So we went ahead and said, this time we put scales inside it.
Yeah.
So we draw scales inside it. And Oyinbo, which is my sister, heard about that and said, she wanna be in this. Okay, no problem, turn up. So she turned up for the video and she loved the project so much. So we shot the video recently and we used two countries for this what make the song so powerful. We used United Kingdom and Nigeria to shoot the video.
Wow. Okay, great.
The first part of it was shot in UK and the second part was shot in Lagos, which is in Lekki Phase 1 in Lagos City. So it's a very massive big project that everybody actually looking forward for. It contains loads of big people in the industry, me, myself, Orisha Femi, Skills, Oyinbo Princess, Imagine. You have not seen Oyinbo in the music before.
Yeah.
This is the first time of her being in the music.
Yeah.
Imagine what she will do on that video.
She's great fun, yeah.
Yeah, and secondly, Oyinbo Skills, Orisha Femi and Skills. Orisha Femi we sing Double Wala and Skills we sing Shake Body. You know, they have never sung together before.
Yeah.
And they have never shot a video together before. Both of them are actually looking like, we really need this song to our fans say, wow, what's going on now? These guys finally come because they have some issue together before. So these guys finally come together and be in one video and one music together.
Which is great.
So people are actually looking for this song and it's gonna mash up in this summer.
So when is it gonna release? Summer? When? Summer?
It's not precisely a date yet, but before the end of summer it will be out.
So it's a good summer tune. Yeah.
Wait for it.
Look forward to that.
Yeah,
yes,
definitely.
It is great.
Okay. Thanks, Empress, for coming to the show. Nice having you.
It's my pleasure of being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is what we have for you today. Empress is going to perform to end the show.
Thanks so much for watching. Take care and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Send your ways, almost she depend. Bend your ways, ready for. Send your ways, Ogunba one bend your ways, oh yeah, pose. Send your ways, almost she depend. Bend your ways, ready for. Send your ways, Ogunba one bend your ways. Knock her, I kiss her, she like the way I do. As I knock her, I kiss her, baby go enter go pay. Kemi pay, the walk pay, already, oh yeah, pay. Kemi pay, the walk pay. Ọ̀rẹ́ gbé, ó yá gbé, kémi gbé, ìwọ gbé, ọ̀rẹ́ gbé, ó yá gbé, kémi gbé, ìwọ gbé, ọ̀rẹ́ gbé.